What's going on, guys? Nate the Great here, coming at you with yet another reaction video. This is a death battle. 2 Reverse Flash versus Goku Black. Now, I know a little bit about these characters, um, so I kind of have a little bit of history on them. But I have to wait till the analysis to discuss further my thoughts on who I think is going to win. So, without further ado, let's get this party started.
Goku Black,
Goku
the
Black.
body-stealing arbiter of divine justice.
Dun, dun,
The Reverse
dun.
Flash, DC's psychopathic speedster fanboy.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of
Right,
flattery.
right.
But I'd say the sincerest form of flattery is not trying to kill your superhero husbando. This way is an boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who to win a death battle.
What consumes the thoughts of a god? What do immortals dream of with all the time in the world? In
Being
Zamasu's
a god.
case, his one goal was divine justice.
Sure,
And
sure.
this guy's got major Final Fantasy big bad
Final
energy
Fantasy.
all over him.
Yeah.
As the assistant to Universe 10's Supreme Kai, Zamasu prized
Universe
above
from
all
Universe 10.
else cosmic order and natural beauty.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you know I can burp and fart at the same time? Here, let me try.
Unsurprisingly, Zamasu despised the inherently chaotic nature of mortals, being seemingly unwilling to lift themselves out of their own cycle of violence and stupidity.
He killed a dog.
Yeah, I know those people,
Asshole.
too. His heart was clouded. Until the day he met Son Goku.
With God King, Goku could match blows with the god of destruction, Beerus. Their clash nearly destroyed the
Destroyed the
entirety
universe.
of Universe 7, a cosmological structure at least 9 times larger than
That
our
was
own
sad.
universe. At most, it could even be as large as 13 times greater than ours. Side note, it's worth mentioning that when 2 gods of destruction fought, they were capable
They
of
almost did
casually
it too.
destroying 2 of these universes.
And since the shockwaves from their punches traveled across Universe 7 in seconds, they'd have to be hitting way faster than light.
Goku was tapping into his Super Saiyan God form for this, though clearly not at its full strength. While the exact multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue is unknown, Toriyama himself has directly
See, I
compared
can
it
never
to
get
the original
past
Super
the
Saiyan form.
And don't forget,
Um,
Goku trained with Whis and fought
the
at the
power
tournament
levels
with
of the
Universe
Dragon
6
Ball.
before Zamasu
Like
caught
they
up with
just
him.
confuse
So
the hell out of
by
me.
that time, he was way stronger.
Here was a mortal with the powers of gods beyond even Zamasu's abilities. Someone who could bring his dreams to fruition.
So Sammy did what anyone would do in that situation. Kill his master to become the Supreme Kai, wish on the Super Dragon Balls to switch bodies with Goku,
Right.
and kill every single mortal in the universe.
Right.
Thus, the deity Zamasu became Goku Black.
Dun, dun, dun.
Please, Goku Black?
Bulma.
More creative?
Now, you
Bulma.
might be wondering, why didn't he just wish all the
I love
mortals
Bulma.
dead?
I'm sorry.
But that wouldn't be as fun, would it? Black's got all of Goku's strength and powers, but wielded by a genocidal maniac instead of that lovable goober of a monkey man.
And in keeping
Sure.
with Goku's Saiyan heritage and godly ki, Black can easily achieve the form of Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
But with a champagneful twist.
Super Saiyan Rose.
Rose.
Really? What is he, a suburban wine mom? Watch out before he unlocks Super Saiyan Live, Laugh, Love! He stole Goku's techniques too, like the instant transmission, where he focuses on a person's key signature to teleport to their location. He's even got the Black Kamehameha, which is a Kamehameha, but
red.
pink.
And
Yeah.
with a Saiyan body, he gets stronger and stronger every time he almost dies. He just becomes harder and harder to kill.
Which really sucks for the rest of the universe, because Black is
That's
kinda
OP.
like if Goku just snapped one day
That's
and
OP.
used his powers to their full murderous potential.
Like the God Split Cut, where he surrounds his hands with a keyblade to slice you to ribbons. He used this very technique to, kill Goku's family.
He can even extend this Keyblade into a huge
Keyblade.
curved one called the Azure Dragon Sword,
The Azure
which,
Dragon.
along with his Kamehameha, confirms my suspicions that Goku is colorblind.
Actually, Black's Azure Dragon Sword is named after a legendary weapon wielded by one of Earth's greatest warriors, the desert bandit Yamcha.
Yamcha!
And he can make a scythe and slice open space-time itself to create a bunch of shadow clones.
Sure.
Black, not Crater Boy over here. But his most dastardly weapon isn't a key technique at all. It's the time ring he got from his dead master.
This ring allowed Black to travel through time and even escape into future Trunks' alternate timeline, where he
Right.
had free reign over the entire universe.
And let him team up with his best bud, himself. Too bad Goku and company
Yeah.
showed up to spoil the fun.
That's always
Wait,
good.
isn't Zamasu in Goku's body? How are there two Gokus? There's only one Goku in the
There is now.
multiverse, right? But Goku met Black before he met Zamasu, which means Black existed before Zamasu came up with the idea. And
Yeah.
then they killed Zamasu before he could do it anyway, but Goku Black was still around? What
Confusing
the
as
hell is
fuck.
going on?
Yes.
Sure, it's a classic.
I'm with you, Boomstick. It's confusing as fuck.
Black's time ring prevents him from being affected by alterations to his own personal timeline. So, killing him in the past doesn't change his future, and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to kill because even if you do it at one point in time, he's
He's still
exists
around
at
another,
another point in time. And another.
And another.
Another.
Yeah.
Another.
Oh, God, I hate time travel. Black is crushed Saiyans
Love
like
time
Goku,
travel.
Vegeta, and
Not really.
Even Vegito couldn't beat him. He even merged with the universe to become one with everything. Like I said, major Final Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage.
Alright, sorry guys about that. I had a little bit of buffer in there, so
Said major
here we
Final
are.
Fantasy villain vibes here.
It took Zeno, the Omni King, the most powerful being in all of creation, to step in and erase that entire timeline just to stop Black's rampage. How ironic. Zamasu's higher calling was the eradication of all mortal life in the universe, and he stole the strongest mortal's body to do it. But in the end, he was always doomed to fail. His quest for power meant nothing against a being that would always be stronger no matter what he did or who he was.
And the universe ended up being destroyed anyway.
Yay.
It's like one big cosmic joke with no one left to laugh.
Right.
You've been running around making messes for too long, and now I'm going to choke the life from you. I can't wait to watch you die.
Bring it on, pretty boy.
Barry Allen, the Flash.
Barry Allen Flash.
Is one of the greatest heroes in history, an inspiration to many across time and space.
Sure.
And there's no better example than his #1 fan from the 25th century, Eobard Thawne.
All right, Wiz, we've tackled a lot of stupid names for things in our years here at Death Battle.
Reverse
but I'm
Flash.
confident that Eobard is the
Eobard.
dumbest fucking first name I've ever heard in my life.
Eobard.
Was completely obsessed with the Flash and
Oh,
dedicated his
Eo.
whole life to studying the Speed Force like a total nerd.
Sorry.
Good luck to him, because there's no way he's figuring that shit out.
But Thawne's life irrevocably changed the day he discovered a time capsule from the 21st century. By some strange coincidence, it just so happened to contain
A Flash
Barry's
suit.
costume.
Sure.
By experimenting on it, Thawne managed to replicate the Flash's powers,
Right.
turning himself into a mirror of his idol.
And
Awesome.
you can bet he totally crapped himself when Barry Senpai
Turns
showed
out
up
he's
in
a
the
dick.
future and took him under his wing. It was a dream come true.
Until Barry realized that Thawne had fabricated crimes in order to show up and save the day. Disgraced, Thawne promised to better himself before traveling to the past to prove his worth to his hero, to prove that their bond was special.
That's when Thawne found out that Barry already had a best friend, and a family, and a life. Without him, he didn't matter. He wasn't special. He was just a nobody Barry tossed out in the trash and forgot about.
Sucks.
Like my Tinder dates do to me.
If only. When Thawne visited the Flash
Tinder
Museum
dad.
in Barry's time, he discovered the secret identity to Flash's greatest enemy that in his future had been lost to time. The one Barry was fated to kill in battle. Eobard Thawne. Wait a minute.
Oh, ain't that a
So-
bitch? The shock drove Thawne mad.
What?
If he couldn't be Flash's best friend, he'd be his greatest enemy. And I guess also ensure his own future death.
He would travel from the future to terrorize the Flash family in the past. Revenge in reverse.
Okay, this is
He'd
confusing.
become the Reverse Flash.
This is
Reverse
confusing.
Flash. We're really setting the world on fire with these names today, huh, Wiz?
Thawne draws his powers from the negative Speed Force,
Right.
which he generates with every
'Cause
step
that
he
makes
takes,
sense.
just like Barry does with the regular Speed Force. The negative Speed Force gives Thawne access to many of the Flash's powers, including his mind-bending
cyclone
super speed,
creation,
enough to travel all across
hypnotic
time and
voice,
space in
invisibility,
days. He can keep up with and
tangibility,
surpass
lightning,
other
shockwave
speedsters
production,
like Barry and Wally.
projection.
Who once ran fast enough to cross the universe faster than two gods who could teleport. Wally even beat
Right.
himself in a race, and Barry admitted Thawne was still faster than that. Wait just a second, he beat himself?
Beat himself.
That doesn't even make sense.
But unlike Barry and Wally, Thawne applies his powers more catastrophically, using them to their full potential without any care for collateral. Take, for instance, his ability to vibrate himself through solid objects.
Right.
Objects like, say, vital organs. And if
Yay!
he did, he'd scramble their molecules, causing instant death. Thawne did just that to Barry's wife, Iris, and Barry
That sucks.
did not appreciate it.
I
Thawne's vibrations
would imagine
are so
not.
powerful, he can even produce a counterforce that can reverse the destruction of the entire universe.
Pretty crazy sounding, but even B-tier speedsters like Jenny Ognats can do the same kind of thing. And when Barry and Wally raced each other, they were tearing
Barry
up
and
the entire
Wally.
multiverse.
Thawne can create shockwaves.
Yeah, I
that
keep forgetting there's like
phase
other
into your
Flash
body and
people.
possess you, and even speak at such high speeds that you'll hear his words as though they were your own thoughts. And instead of
Nice.
stealing your speed like other Flashes, he can steal your time.
Yeah, Thawne can yoink decades from your life and
Okay.
age you 80 years in just a few seconds. Kinda
Awesome.
sounds like your sex life, huh, Wiz?
Thawne's
Pose.
greatest ability is his unmatched skill at time travel, and he uses this expertise to be as petty and cruel as humanly possible.
Thawne wasn't a dummy. He knew that if he went back in time to kill Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself
Maybe the
from
Flash.
the time stream too. So
Oh.
instead, he'd just make Barry's life suck as hard as he could, push him down some stairs, retcon his best friend from history,
Right.
kill his mom.
Right.
He even told Barry he'd go back in time and adopt him as his own son. Dude, what the fuck?
That's
Nice.
another big
That's-
difference between
that's
Thawne
kinda
and Barry.
fucked up.
Whereas Barry only went back in time to save his mother's life, Thawne often went back in time to try to fix his own mediocre life. He killed his more successful younger brother, his career
Nice.
rival at the Flash Museum,
Nice
and
guy.
every single boyfriend his crush had until there was no one left but him.
And when she still
Nice guy.
rejected him, he went
He
back
killed
in
her
time
too.
again and made her an invalid for the rest of her life.
Nice.
Jesus Christ! This guy's
You're
a
such
monster.
a bundle of
Wait,
joy,
Wiz,
aren't you?
That's impossible. Grandpappy paradox or whatever. If he went back in time to kill someone, they'd be dead in the future, which means
Which means he'd never know them and want to go back in time in the first place, right?
Wiz.
Yeah.
Maybe time is a construct with no legitimate unit of measurement other than the meager attempts man has made to understand the
No mistake, you're thinking too hard.
Well, actually, Thawne was just inside the time stream when Barry initiated Flashpoint, which rewrote the universe while Thawne was technically disconnected from it. So, Thawne essentially broke. Literally, figuratively, mentally, physically, temporally.
Nice.
Or maybe he just hated Barry so much it defied the laws of time. Oh.
More specifically, he became a living paradox, a being without a past or future, literally without continuity. Not only did this mean he'd be unaffected by changes to his past, it made him effectively immortal.
Stabbed in the chest by evil Batman.
Okay.
Vaporized by Iris in some sweet, sweet payback. Or
That's
getting
gonna be
done to
interesting.
Manhattan by the
That's gonna be a
God
factor.
Dong himself.
So they're both
Thawne
basically
was always
immortal.
reborn, unable to stay dead.
But more than anything, it made him immune from consequences.
Unlike Barry, whose changes to time could destroy all of reality, Thawne could do whatever he wanted. He was impossible to stop, with no reason to hold back.
He survived a hit from Barry while he had the entire Speed Force absorbed into him, and even Wally's infinite mass punch, which has the mass of a white dwarf star. A white dwarf is essentially the remains of a star's ultra-dense core, which has a mass of over 2 octillion tons.
Sure.
And he took one of those to the noggin and just took a nap.
Just come on
Man,
going.
he must really hate Barry if a sun to the face can't take him down.
But he doesn't hate Barry. All of his schemes, all of his machinations, all of his insane timeline-shattering threats, all of it was because it was the only way he could think of to spend time with his hero.
That's really sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Says it all. He never intended to be the Reverse Flash. He wanted to be the
The
Kid
Flash.
Flash. All Thawne
Ah,
ever really
the Kid
desired
Flash.
was to be by Barry's side.
In the end, though, goody little
That's right.
Two Shoes Barry forgave him and then vibrated away his living paradox powers, erasing him from existence.
Nice.
Not entirely. Barry didn't kill Thawne. He reset his
Yes, I
timeline,
did.
removing the one thing driving his hatred, his relationship with Barry. Without that, Thon was a normal, happy Flash fan once again.
His comics
Yay!
whiz, he'll be back. And when he does,
He always comes
there'll
back.
be no running. He'll always be faster. He'll always catch you. And time is always on
Nice.
his side.
Still think you can take me? Even death can't catch me.
Sure, sure.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, let me tell you how to reverse things in the bedroom in a flash. With
See, I have no freaking clue now. They both technically have the whole immortality thing going, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna try to analyze this before, because honestly, most of this just blew over my head. So I'm just gonna watch the fight and see what happens, and we'll go from there.
time for a death battle!
It was me,
Hey, that
Barry. I was the one who...
I think he knows. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Let's go for black. For some reason, I thought it was a reverse flash fight for a second. I'm just drinking coffee.
Sinners, prepare for divine justice!
Oh, shit. Well, that sucks. Wait. Ah, there goes his coffee.
Oops.
I'm actually rooting for Goku Black, I'm not gonna lie.
Excuse me, sir. I'm in need of your services.
Nice. Human shield. Come on, Goku Black. Go Rose and kick his ass.
Okay.
Oh, my better too. There you go.
This color, is it not beautiful?
Yeah. Oh shit. Ooh. That had to been a brilliant back. How'd that pavement taste?
Incoming genius.
This is actually kind of a cool match. Not gonna lie.
Death in reverse.
Yeah.
Magnificent. Mortal sinners.
Oh, we went back in time. Shit.
Why aren't you dead?
What the fuck? I forgot Goku Black can go back in time too. They already have that thing. Oh, bitch. Oh, they're killing all the freaking copies. Okay. Let's take a different turn.
To stand atop all things and look down upon creation itself. That is the work of a god! Empty threats to a living paradox! How truly foolish. Sorry, was that important?
Oh, crap. Ow. That's gonna leave a mark.
How fun.
That sucks. That sucks.
Hey-o! You know, we've sent enough people to that sun. We really should have a timeshare.
This was a fairly tricky matchup to figure out, least of all for their incredible levels of power.
Black could destroy a universe like ours at least 660 times over. I mean, a punch at least as big as a star is really badass, but that's in another league.
However, there was a lot more to cover than just how many stars or universes they could blow up. At their peak, both Goku Black and Reverse Flash were so impressive they were removed from time itself, becoming living paradoxes, making any attempt to kill either of them meaningless.
Stupid time travel.
It's difficult to determine who would
That's
figure
just
out
messed
a
up.
counter
That's
to
just way
this
too confusing.
temporal invincibility first,
We'll
but
just
it would
cancel
most
each other
likely
out.
rely on a combination of speed and smarts.
As far as speed goes, it's no surprise Thawne definitely had the edge. Yeah, Black's attacks could reach speeds quintillions of times faster than light, but Thawne is a Flash.
Even early in his career as a member of the Flash family, Wally West could reach speeds that were impossible to comprehend and calculate. There are numerous examples of this for multiple iterations of the Flash, many of whom Thawne was clearly equal to.
Plus, he's kind of an expert when it comes to timey-wimey bullshit.
And he could likely overpower
Timey-wimey
Black and
bullshit.
destroy said time ring too. After all, Thawne once generated enough energy to counter the destruction of the entire DC universe, which is stated in comics to be at least 100 trillion light years in diameter. That's over 1
Interesting.
billion times larger than our own universe, and over 70 million times larger than Dragon Ball's Universe 7.
It's sort of impossible to lock down the exact limits of Goku Black's upper strength without getting into lots of assumptions and guesswork. He's obviously stronger than Goku was when he clashed with Beerus, but even being super generous with training and power boosts and multipliers, the gap here is way too wide to be able to just assume Goku Black could match this level of power. The DC universe is just too big. And remember, Barry and Wally's race almost ripped apart the entire DC multiverse.
It's also important to stress that Goku Black is
I'm
not
sorry, the
Goku.
DC's got the
Goku's
multiverse.
drive and willpower can push through even the most absurd
So,
limits to potentially match
they
higher
went-
levels of power. Zamasu took
The
Goku's
fact that-
body because he's more than willing to take shortcuts. It's an entirely different mindset.
Yeah,
They basically went the whole DC having the bigger multiverse versus Dragon Ball.
and once he took care of that time ring, Reverse Flash had a lot more options than just overpowering Black. With that super speed, he could pretty easily scramble Black's insides or age him to death with a touch. Zamasu may have been a deity even without the time ring, but Goku's body is mortal with a limited range of age. Might have really screwed yourself with that one, huh, Zam Zam?
Goku Black was a nightmarish foe, but Thawne's experience with time travel, ridiculous levels of hacks, and frankly impossible speed gave him the means to take the win.
This fight was definitely not sunderwhelming.
The winner is the Reverse Flash. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode.